Good morning. Happy Sunday. I am so glad you're here, and I'm glad I'm here. And we are having a snuggly Sunday morning because, wow, the energy of my household is so different today. I asked Reed to move out yesterday morning, and I was like, you need to move out today because we have been in a really fucked financial place. And I just knew his energy was blocking things. And like it's not that he was blocking things or his energy, it's like he just makes everyone in the household so uncomfortable that it's hard to do things. And in this journey of understanding the dynamics of family, and that's really what we're going to talk about today, is the dynamics of family and divorce and how that looks. And then my journey as a six line is so interesting because it's not what I thought it was. In human design, I'm a 6-2, and the six line is a role model. And it's not at all how it's taught. It's more about just sharing the messy moments as we move through them and allowing ourselves to be seen in our humanity for who we are. And the last 5 years have been some of the hardest of my life because it was 5 years ago last month that I left Reed for the first time. And the kids have been my guides through this entire process because I didn't understand truly what was going on or what was happening because he didn't yell at me. He doesn't like fight. He's always there, but would go silent. And I just could not understand what was going on. And I read a gazillion books, and it helped me find my path and make better decisions and identify things. And then there was the financial problems all the way through. And he ended up building a 6-figure business that he ran for 3 years in the last 5 years. And that was the first time he'd ever provided for us. Like in the 22 years that we've known each other, I have been the primary breadwinner almost the entire time. And it's just been such an interesting process of me coming to terms with I'm not doing everything, and I'm just not going to do agreements that don't work for me. And yet we had this agreement where we were going to break generational cycles, and that was the most important thing for both of us, for me especially, was that I didn't want to continue the cycles that I was born into. And I didn't understand that how important it was to break his cycles also, because like he just wasn't as motivated as I was to make changes. And that's okay. He just can't be a part of our life. But at the stage of my kids' life that all this was going down, they were all teenagers. And so being able, I guess we had one preteen, but being able to see through their eyes and then help them process like what all their issues with their dad. Like it's been such a journey because our divorce that happened 2.5 years ago, like that's just my relationship with him. He has 4 kids together, and I came to the marriage with 1 child, and all of those people matter too. It's not just about my intimate relationship with him, and it hasn't been about that for the last 2.5 years. It's been about how do I help the kids emotionally journeying through this, because my father was unalived when I was 10 years old, and living without a father like caused a lot of damage in me. And anything is healable. Like we can heal anything. But it's different when someone abandons you versus dies, because it's like, well, they're still physically there. And then specifically with him, he wouldn't leave. He would emotionally and financially abandon, but then he would still be present. And that caused just so much internal chaos for all of us. And so these last 5 years have been really about rebuilding relationship with my kids, listening to them, helping them walk through like what's okay, what isn't okay. And I realized yesterday I have had so much shame over my parenting because I raised the kids so differently. I raised them to just think for themselves, to take personal responsibility, to understand like the marketing in the world and how to see and feel and understand the complexities of life. And it didn't make sense, and yet I knew in every part of my body that it was correct. And at one point, when our youngest son was paralyzed, we did have a CPS case, and it was so bad. And I was just like, I was so scared because that was always my worst fear. And then when it happened, I was like, guys, go talk to her, go talk to the caseworker and just be honest. Just be real. I'm not going to coach you through what to say. Just speak from your heart. And we never lost the kids for 1 minute. Like it worked out so well that by the time we were done with the case, a caseworker who happened to be pregnant, she was like, I want to raise my kids like you guys are. And I was like, I'm never again going to be worried about how I raise them. And at the same time, they weren't okay really with how things were going. Like I've had a couple that really wanted to go to school, but because we were facing major medical issues, it was hard to be able to make that happen because we had to move a number of times and didn't have the right place for that to work. And every time we'd go down that path, and then it was like, ooh, no, this isn't good. I don't want to do that. So we'd pull back. And that's really been my parenting journey, is just listening to each one of them and then walking them down the journey and then making decisions and just caring about them the entire way. And when yesterday hit and I knew it was time to ask Reed to go, each one of the kids was like, yeah, it's time. Yeah, it's time. There were very few tears. And in fact, the only tears came from the one that's highly emotional and very like no tears would be weird for her. But it was so easy. And I have just had the hardest time sleeping. I wake up between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. And he left last night and I slept until almost 7 o'clock this morning, just with ease. I'm not even worried about the bills. In fact, with the power bill, the kids all came together and like our power is going to be just fine. They're all working together as a team. It's beautiful. We're all working as a team. I had no idea what I was doing any of my life. I still don't know what I'm doing, except I know what I'm feeling. And I know how to journey through that. And everything's going to be okay. It works out in perfect timing. I don't know that I've ever had so much peace. And this is actually a great reason why I don't study astrology transits or human design transits, because I find that when you're really listening to your body and you're making decisions appropriately using your authority, when you understand your strategy, when you're just living in alignment with who you are, you naturally follow the transits. It just happens automatically. And then you can look back and go, yeah, look at that. I was in so much alignment. That was awesome. But I don't ever seek it out because then I find it makes me off tune with who I am. And who I am is the most important element of this entire process, is that I matter. How I feel matters. What the strength and the tiredness and whatever I'm feeling, it matters so much that everything else is secondary. And that is something I've had for me. And then I've also learned how to teach my kids to do that. And that's actually why functional human design, worthy, and vulnerable leadership exist, because it's not about what do we do out in the world, although that's really important. But the first step is, one, being on the journey of knowing yourself, and then going deep into the layers of conditioning, the things that happened in the world and that are the world, like, because we have so many beliefs that are just, they're everywhere. And then once you get to the bottom of all that, how do you re-enter like the paradox? How do you re-enter the world, this third dimension, in order to be able to live your purpose? And it's not like you have a purpose. It's like, how do you live you? How do you live your design with ease? So it just feels like this. For me, this is living my design. I'm sitting here on a Sunday morning having coffee with you. And that, it delights my soul, because this is truly what I always wanted. And the thing that he didn't want me to do, because if I told the stories in live action, it would break the illusion that he tries to show. And really, him being a fifth line, his illusion is that he's the savior. And that's his projection field, is being the savior, the hero. And it's like he's taken that projection field and turned it into an identity. And it's just so unhealthy. And it's taken some years for everyone in my family to understand. Some of it had the answers many years ago, and others took more time, and everyone is important. And that, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see them, because now they're walking into adulthood without the issues that plague people for decades later. They're walking in going, yeah, we made it through that. We healed through it. We journeyed through it. And now it just feels like an amazing new opportunity for life. It feels like I'm free in a way that isn't like panic or excitement or frantic. It's just, I get to live free and vulnerable and real and share. It's a beautiful life. So I'm going to stare at some trees in the sky, and all the kids are going to wake up in a little bit, and we're going to clean the house, and we're going to declutter and reorganize and just clean our space today. We already went through and just cleaned the energy out last night. I know that's why everyone's sleeping so well. And it's so peaceful. And then today with cleaning, it all works out. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me on this journey. There's a lot of places you could be in the world. And to be here watching this video, I'm grateful for you. And if this has helped you, I would love it if you dropped a comment below. It really does help grow this channel so other people can learn too. I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I've been. And I'm so grateful to be alive, to be here, even with all the chaos of the planet. This is what we've all wanted. We've wanted peace. And it's on its way. Thank you. I love you.